Hello,
Go.
Charl.
Hi, Andrew.
How are
How are
you?
you doing?
Very well, and you? Let me try and get in the picture here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a privilege.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So basically, what I do is I just start and end this thing because what we do is we cut it and make it into a podcast, stick it on Spotify, and it seems to be getting a few listens around the world. So it's kind of cool. So my name's Andrew McKenna. I'm the founder of the African Turf Academy. I started a mega interview series just to interview the guys in the industry around the world over lockdown. So today we have Charl Blaauw from the amazing St. Francis Lynx joined us. He's going to tell us his story about his journey in golf and some of the hot property secrets that they use at St. Francis Lynx. So Charles, just give us a bit of your story. I can see there's a few. Tina's has joined us there. Give us your story and how you got into the industry. Did you get into it through playing or give us your story?
Yeah. Okay. So I think getting into the industry itself is a different story. Getting into golf is also a story on its own. So I think just from a very, very young age, it's probably the biggest influence from my dad, playing golf for as long as I can remember. And I think my biggest, thing on the Saturday was to go and caddy for my dad.
Okay.
Was too young to play, but I think what prompted me to go and caddy for him was probably the pie at halfway. That was
Okay.
my
Yeah.
passion as well.
And
But
where was this? Where was this?
I grew up in Springs. So
Okay.
Springs Country Club was a home club, and absolutely still one of my favorite layouts. It's really a great parklands golf course. I haven't been there in many years. Don't know what it looks like now. But yeah, so definitely my dad got me into golf. And, golf for me playing golf only came in quite a bit later. I would say close to the end of my school career. And then it just took off from there. But
Okay.
getting
And where?
into, yeah.
Yeah. Carry on. Carry on.
No, so I just want to, so getting into the golfing industry on the greenkeeping side, I actually, after school, I studied agriculture in
Okay.
Potchefstroom. So I
Okay.
studied for 3 years, actually had a hand at becoming a farmer without my folks having a farm.
Okay.
Went out and just realize if you don't have your own piece of land to actually start something, like farming, it's not worth it. So, and then started playing golf a lot. And
Okay.
the guys actually knew my background of, studying agriculture. And a lot of what we're doing now is based on what my studies were all about. And I must say, and from there, the guys at Springs Country Club said, listen, we don't have someone to actually look after the course at that stage. Would you be able to help us out? And I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. And just jumped at the opportunity. And from there, it took off. And,
Okay.
so that was basically 1 year of greenkeeping experience where I was just thrown into the deep end. And from there, if you want me to tell you other courses where I went to, I can take it
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
there.
Carry on. I want to hear your journey to St. Francis Lynx.
Okay. Well, okay. So after Springs Country Club, I, by chance, played with my oldest brother, Jock. We played Stellenbosch Golf Club. And finished playing, and only at on the board there in the clubhouse, I see there was a advertisement for assistant greenkeeper needed. And directly after the golf, I actually applied for the position. And it was a month after that I was packed and I was in Stellenbosch. I got the job there, and I worked under Antoni Els, who also
Okay.
moved on to Sun City.
Yeah.
And so Stellenbosch was my big step. 2 years as assistant there, and
Okay.
then I got introduced to Mark A from Golf Data,
Yeah.
which became my family for the next 10 years after that. Sure, Mark. I think I left Stellenbosch in 2001.
Okay.
and then started for golf data at Sparrowbosch, which is now
Okay.
known as
Yeah.
Kazula.
Yeah.
From Sparrowbosch, I moved to Edenvale, where I worked under Mike Westman. He's now at Pearl Valley as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, yeah, after Edenvale, my big break came, where I actually did the transition from assistant to actually having my own golf course, and that was Ernie's first golf course, Obai, where I joined the golf data team probably, I would say, 4 months into the project. And when the first seed went down at Obai, that is when I moved in and grew in Obai Golf Course.
Wow.
And I was there for the next 8 years. So Obai was my home for 8 years.
It sounds like you should be about 50 by now. You did
well,
10 years.
Break coming through, yeah.
You did 10 years with golf data, and then 8 years or is that together? Is that together?
No, that's all together. I've been in the industry for 22 years now.
Okay.
And yeah, I've been here at St. Francis Links for 9 years now. So if you want to know how old I am, I can tell you.
No. I'm not asking for your age. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, yeah. So then you eventually made it to St. Francis Links, and Jeff brought you over from somewhere, did he?
Yes, I actually applied for the job while working at Oba. I applied for the job at Tamarina in Mauritius.
Okay.
And without knowing it, Andre Gerber that worked here at St. Francis Links, he also applied. And he got the position there. He moved to Tamarina. And without thinking about, St. Francis Links, Jeff played over the one day. And I can remember it so well. He met me on the putting green. I greeted him, and he was off to the first tee. And all he said to me was, "Hey, Pods, are you ready to move?" And that's where he left it. And it started, he planted the seed, and it went from there. And I went for the interview. And Jeff likes telling the story that the interview wasn't with me, it was more with my wife, because he wanted my wife and kids to be happy. And so, yeah, that's his version of the story. And then we moved here in 2011, we moved here.
Oh, that's not beautiful. Okay, I'm going to jump around a bit because there's quite a lot of things I want to talk to you about, but I want to just jump quickly to the award you've just won with the John Collier Award for sustainability, because we work closely with the RNA, especially the sustainability department of the RNA with Steve Isaac and Wendy Cole. I just want you to tell us about that award, how you went about, how you got it, what made you win it, and so on.
Okay, well, I think we've had a relationship with John for quite some time, on the golf course. And I think the award is not specifically only what we're doing on the golf course, but it is the estate as a whole. If I think, also we really strive to keep that balance between man and nature. And, so the golf course, nature was your first, and then the golf course came. We're trying to maintain that as far as we can.
Nice.
Just throughout the golf course, if I just think we've got a lady called Charl Blaauw. She's permanently employed on the links. She looks after all the plants and all that, and she guides us, through a lot of the whole process of actually being environmentally sustainable and all that. And so Charl plays a very big part in all of this. If I just think water conservation, obviously with golf courses, is one of the biggest things that people always talk about. The estate is built, all run of water we catch, we pump it back up to the dams, reuse that. We've got on the estate for the residents, we've got our own water purification plants that Kevin Berger, he runs that plant. So we actually purify the boil water to try and be self-sufficient off the grid. We're looking at options for the future, for electricity that is more sustainable. there's so many things throughout. If I think of the clubhouse, all these factors play a big role in the end. They're looking at using as much recyclable products as they can. We've got a recycling company involved on the links as well, where they collect all our household recycling. And that is job creation.
Okay.
That is Carol bringing school kids in, talking about the environment.
Engaging the local communities.
Yes. So if I think about chemical application on a golf course, that is my biggest thing. I've always been pro, being curative instead of preventative. I know that there's a lot of people think differently, but I rather only apply chemicals when needed and where needed. If we only need to spot spray, we will only spot spray and only use, apply to those areas.
A lot of guys do the exact opposite to that, don't they?
Yeah, no, exactly. So, I mean, there's no, that works for me. If there's, for instance, if there's any disease outbreak on just outside the playing area, we do not treat that at all. We let nature takes its course, and the stronger grasses eventually come through. We are currently busy also. We are a predominantly rye golf course, and we are moving into quirk as well. We have planted quirk sprigs on the fairways, trying to get a more drought-resistant, disease-tolerant grass in here that will actually help us to spray even less and hopefully fertilize less as well going forward.
Good. Okay, and also with your, one of the things that I've spoken to a couple of your teammates about is your interchangeability. I don't know what the right word is for that, but the way you guys do different roles to encourage a team spirit and make sure you get involved in other areas rather than just your own.
Yes, I think
it's an interesting concept. I love it. So if you can tell us your version of that.
So we try to have or to wear as many hats as possible. Each specific manager in their own position try to wear as many hats. So I think we spoke about, or Jeff spoke about it with his interview with you the last time, where over December's, if my team is finished with a morning prep, I would go to the clubhouse. My assistant would go on the golf course. They would carry on with the task given to them. And for instance, I would go and waiter. I would either move from the kitchen and actually go and waiter. And it goes through from myself to Jeff to Tinus, Keller, we know very well, Chris, to everyone that's from Silver Lakes. And it's just a culture that's been grown here, and we actually look forward to it, to interacting with the members, because I think a lot of clubs where they maybe, if I can say, fall short. I don't want to say that because that can open up a can of worms, but it is not interacting with members and visitors as much as they can, because I think it's always expected from the club manager or CEO like Jeff to be the only one interacting, and it's completely different here. We do what we can where we can, and if my work is under control, and they need me at the clubhouse or wherever, we are there to help. So that's how.
Yeah, and that falls into sustainability as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No,
yeah, it's an overlooked part of sustainability, how you can intertwine different parts of the business together. Okay, and then another part of sustainability is playability, and playing golf. And I believe you're a keen golfer, right? You're not one of these greenkeepers that doesn't play golf. You play golf. Are you a good golfer? I don't know all the answers to these questions I'm asking you.
Let's just keep it at I play golf, and I love playing golf. I'm not going to ask if I'm a good golfer, because that differs from day to day. I've had amazing rounds. I've had terrible rounds.
And how important do you think it is to be you don't have to be a shoot 66, but to be able to play with your members as the golf course superintendent. Do you think that's important?
Andrew, I think that is so important. Just to you tend to fall into the rut of following your own path on what needs to be done on the golf course. But playing with members, first of all, you see the golf course from their perspective. You play with golfers from different age groups, from the youngster playing from the front tee to the seniors, on the senior tees, and you actually can see where they hit the ball and what areas to make, to maybe cut shorter, take some bush out somewhere and make it more playable for them. That's definitely, you see more, playing golf than just driving on your golf cart and looking at the golf course.
Yeah, I hear that over and over again. I mean, one of the things we try and promote here is to get the guys, either the very good players becoming greenkeepers or the guys who are keen on greenkeeping to become decent players like Walt. We don't do everything perfect, but we try. But also the other part of it is just to engage with the membership, so that if there's people moaning or if they've got complaints or there's issues going on, you're there to be able to deal with it firsthand at the club, right?
That's a fact. So the other part of the culture that's been grown here is Tinus, our head pro, myself, the food and beverage manager. Everyone is there on a Wednesday night. If it all returns back to normal after this whole crazy time now, we are all there for prize giving. A lot of times before they do prize giving, Jeff just randomly gives me the mic and asks me to talk to the members about what we've done in the golf course for the week, and that's never been part of my personality, but it has actually grown me, to be a much better person and interacting with the members, and it just works out fantastic. I mean, then you get the interaction. People start asking questions and, can we not do this? And why did you do that? So it's really good. Wednesday night is probably one of the best times to be at the clubhouse.
You guys should write a little 100-page little book on the secrets of St. Francis Links. Are you still there? Did I lose you?
Say that again, Andrew.
I said you guys should write. You guys should write a little book, The Secrets of St. Francis Links. Some beautiful stories. Okay, I want to talk about some of the secrets of St. Francis Links. Dawn Patrol. I've never experienced it. I just want to understand what it is. Okay,
so Dawn Patrol started before I started working here. It was a Friday morning Dawn Patrol. As the sun came up, it was Jeff Claus with his superintendent, Andre Gerber. That started as a course inspection. You play 9 holes, maybe front 9 this Friday, and the next Friday play the back 9. And more of just to look at the golf course, see what needs to be done next week and all that, really talk about it. And that has turned into Dawn Patrol for members. Whoever pitches up on a Friday morning, they are welcome to play with us. We have been about 10 people on one tee. And it is ready golf. You hit. If you get to your ball, you play. And we still, it's usually myself and Jeff still driving together on the cart, and we still talk about the golf course. But along with that goes the competition of the rabbit. Now, rabbit, that's a long story, but the goal is basically to knock the leg off of the rabbit if you win a hole. And if you got all 4 legs, you are the ultimate winner. So you can be absolutely nowhere for the whole round and take it on the last hole. So that's the beauty of it all. And you are officially invited to come play Dawn Patrol with us.
Lovely, lovely. That's beautiful. Okay, then your another question about St. Francis Links before we go back to you is how do you maintain a golf course of such high pedigree? And I don't believe you've got any golden handshake going on behind in the background, giving you secret budgets. I think you have to operate sustainably as well. How do you do that, and what do you think your secrets are to that?
Okay, 100%, I would have to say it all starts at the workshop. You know, a lot of people think what's going on the golf course, what are you putting down fertilizer-wise and all that. It all starts at the workshop. Machinery is a huge cost because we always work back to dollar. Having the correct guy in the right position as your workshop manager. I've got you on my here. This guy is absolutely phenomenal. Look, he can take an old machine and make it brand new, and I think that's a key. Big cost saving there if you got someone like that.
It's a sought after skill in the world. That particular skill is really sought after in the world. A lot of guys ask me if I can provide that, and it's not that easy to provide. So if there's any youngster out there who wants to go in a career, that is a definite opportunity there. Sorry, I'm interrupting now.
No, not at all. Not at all. This is a conversation. It's a good conversation. It is that to me is key. There are way too many guys looking at the mechanical side of it, because I mean there's so many friends that's moved on to Dubai that went there as workshop managers, and you know also now they've moved over to greenkeeping as well. So the love is there for it. I mean you can, and it really takes the workshop manager with a fine eye to get the quality what you want out there. And if it's not for you on here, I mean, we will look terrible out there. So it all starts there. I can give him absolute full credit for, you know, the quality cuts and all that there. It makes my life easy. And, you know, looking at staying within a low budget, I think it's just keeping a really, really good relationship with your fertilizer providers. You know, anyone, the chemical providers. Just really always be straightforward and give them your budget. Say, this is what I have. Help me to make this work. And that's it. And I've always worked. I've worked for many years with Pocket Free from Nantucket. You know, we've got the fertilizer budget and the fertilizer application, I think, exactly where we want it to really make it look good year round. We've got people like Cedar Swat in industry. I mean, Cedar's always a phone call away. Use your resources to get away with good information, because with good information, you get away with spending less money. There's no errors, you know. You know whatever you're putting down is the right thing you're putting down, and you don't have to do it twice.
And the ability to get information these days has never been easier, right? And I know you're quite a social media guy. You're quite active on social media, so you've got a good network to rely on.
Look, Andrew, that's probably one of the things that I've been working on over these years. Is when I started in industry, it was from course to course, it was a very secretive industry almost. Whatever one guy did on one golf course, he didn't want to, you know, divulge and give to the next guy next door. Where I think at this stage, we have become on the our Greenkeepers Association in the Southern Cape. We are all friends. Everyone we used to meet once a month. Don't know when that's going to happen again. Hopefully soon. But we keep on going on WhatsApp. If there's any question, I mean, if one guy's struggling with something, it's literally putting a question out there, and someone always answers. And I love that about social media. And you know, it's like talking to my friends. It's not just another guy from another golf course. That helps a lot.
But don't you think that's a characteristic of guys who are doing well? I mean, I really noticed it myself. The guys I'm engaging with, the really good guys are the ones who want to share. The ones who don't want to share don't seem to progress as quickly. I think it's a characteristic trait of someone who's going to do well. Do you agree with that?
Well, I so far agree with everything you say, because I mean, just look at. I mean, I have to mention his name, Craig Aldane. Yeah. He is the best example of any guy out there. Works now, moved from the Emirates to Glen Eagles. Craig, I spoke to him this morning. You know, it is a matter of phoning a guy, and if you need any information, Craig is probably the guy that I learned this from. He's always open. He's always got time to help you, and I don't think there's ever a stupid question. I mean, if there's a stupid question, you know, he won't tell you. But at least I myself keep moving forward. If it's, I love this. If you move forward slowly, it's still moving forward. And for asking.
Exactly. His name comes up a lot. I deal with Craig a lot, and his name comes up a lot for a good reason.
No,
okay. So you all, let's talk about Craig quickly. He invited you to, I don't know if you volunteered or he invited you to the Solheim Cup last year. So you went off on your journey to Scotland. Was it your first time in Scotland?
My first time in Scotland, and
hopefully not your last.
I hope not. It was definitely a bucket list for me. Scotland has always been, you know, close to my heart. It's always where I wanted to go to. I wanted to see St Andrews. Got the opportunity to do that as well. I'll get back to the Solheim now because that's very important. But just getting to St Andrews was, I mean, an absolute dream come true. I spent time there with Gordon McKee, who absolutely went out of his way as well. I joined them for the morning prep one day at the old course. Drove around with them. It was amazing. So I'd like to thank Gordon as well. I mean, it just shows you the industry all across the world. It's one big family, this turf grass industry, and you all speak the same language, which is amazing. Different accent, same language.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but just before we go back to the Solheim Cup, we've gone down this path of this interview before I even asked you any of my questions, my quick questions. So let's go back. So this should have been at the beginning. The Open or the Masters?
Open.
Okay. Jack or Tiger?
Jack, 100%.
Okay. And for you, I'm going to ask you wind or rain?
Well, living in St. Francis, I'll take the rain for now, definitely.
Is it windy down there at the moment?
This is the calm before the storm. It's an absolute perler out here, but we're expecting gale force winds shortly.
Yeah, there's a cold front hitting, isn't it? It's going to be a bit chilly this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's quickly go back to the Solheim Cup. And any of the people who are watching, Gustav's saying he misses you from the Solheim Cup. But we'll talk about the Solheim Cup. But if anyone wants to ask Charl a question, please fire away. Let me just quickly whiz through here. I think there was Jeff asked a question, but we covered that. That's it. Okay, tell me about your Solheim Cup experience.
Okay, yeah. So I was invited by Craig after volunteering for, first of all, at the Emirates Club, where the Dubai Day is a classic. I volunteered there as well. And Craig invited me for the Solheim. And I mean, first of all, you learn so much at these tournaments. And I had the opportunity to go to the Solheim, absolute dream come true, working with amazing people there. Learn so much. I mean, just you get all these guys from top golf courses just as normal volunteers at one spectacular event, and every morning you were someone else. I first spent the first couple of days with Coleman Magro, who you interviewed the other day.
I had to kick him off. He was talking so much.
Yeah, but exactly. But I let him just keep on going because
he's fantastic.
Knowledge, you know, when he starts talking to where it ends, you know, it's not. I know everything about the pogo, and no, not everything, but a lot. And I know everything about Gorman, his family, and the music he makes, and everything. It was great to really spend time with him, and I mean, just Craig's his official team at Glen Eagles. I mean, what a bunch of great guys. Made so many nice friends. We've still got a Solheim WhatsApp group going as well. And, you know, it's not just chatting as well. That is just going forward with information sharing. we've got people from all over Switzerland, Germany, everywhere, where a tournament like this, it just broadens your horizons. It's
Mm.
there's different ways. There's specifically I met Matthew Charl and Mark Simmons. Now Mark is the most active on Facebook. Every single day, whatever he does, he posts on Facebook, and it's with videos and all of it. And just there you can see how they do things differently, and actually try and take some of what you see and apply it to the golf course here, because it's exactly the same. We all do the same thing. So
Mm.
the Solemn itself, really, as a superintendent, you can go there. You work with students. You work with people with different
Mm-hmm.
levels of knowledge, but you
Mm.
all learn from one another.
Mm.
You can't take anything away from anyone. So
Yeah, and the for those who don't do tournaments, it's very attainable. It's not something that's it's you need to know the person too well to get to the PGA Championship at Wentworth, to get to the Solheim Cup, to get to the Dubai Desert Classic. It's one of those things. Put your hand up, pay for your ticket, and go and have a week or two of the time of your life, right?
that's it. Look, time of your life, along with hard work, and exactly what you said. Put your hand up, and if there's someone that doesn't want to do the work, go and do it. Because first of all, they will probably invite you back, seeing that you're a hard worker, and you would have learned so much more just by going out to go and do that. So do as much as you can, and it's just for your benefit from the start.
Mm. And there's a great question coming through from an Umtombi. I don't know Umtombi, but does St. Francis Links have a plan to maintain its high standards when Jeff and Charl move on to other endeavours?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's Tom Grimsley. He's a member, yeah, and also a Scottish member.
No, I don't think that's Tom Grimsley. I think that's Umtombi.
Is it? Okay, but I think I'm sure there's St. Francis Links have got many plans going forward. I mean that's why we try and learn as much as we can from the other people as well. But hopefully he's not going to move soon, and he's not got a plan with me anytime soon. So.
Yeah, Jeff just said we're not leaving.
There you go. We're not leaving yet.
Okay, and it's one of your members. It's one of your members asking Temba Umtombi, Umtombeni. I'm not sure how you say that surname, but you'll know him. Her Charl. I think it's a lady.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, let's. Okay. Yeah. Let's go back to now your job. Your percentage of the time you spend managing people versus managing turf.
I think I would have to go 50-50 on that. If you look after your turf, the turf looks after you. If you look after your staff, they look after you as well. So, I mean, as I said earlier, from the workshop down to the guy cutting greens, there's no task on this golf course that's more important than the other one. And we do in-house training on the links. I've got my first assistant, Danisile Mklabeni. He's phenomenal with his training methods. And after the guy comes back from training from Danny, he's a great operator. So yeah.
Okay. So, and how's Walty getting on?
Walty is doing great. He's great. I can see myself in him. After just finishing studying my studies. Again, a lot to learn, but he's always willing, and that's great to see. I love it.
He's some character. Yeah. Okay, and then going forward, I know you don't want to leave St. Francis Links, but let's just talk hypothetically. Which course would you like to manage in the world?
I will have to go for St Andrews Old Course, if I can
Okay.
choose.
Why is that? Why is that?
Just that's the home of golf. That's where it all started. That's what inspired me from the beginning. It's just the history of golf is magnificent, and you know, yeah, in the background is, you can't quite see it, was me on the bridge, and I was in tears there. I'm not ashamed of saying that, but you know what that brings out of the man is, you know, it is amazing to actually be at St Andrews and to experience the history and reading up about the history. It is the best thing that in my career, in my golfing career, that's ever happened to me, is being at St Andrews.
It's interesting. Just turn the camera a little bit, because it's almost like it's the wrong way around, that picture. Is it?
It is the way the camera is looking at it. That's all, because yeah, it is the wrong way around, the way you're seeing it.
Oh, I see. It's our view. We're getting flipped. Okay, yeah. And then so Christopher Stain is asking what your career highlight is, other than the Solheim Cup.
My career highlights. Sure, Christopher. That's a very good question, because there's highlights all over. I think truly, and without just saying it, is my highlight was when I got appointed at St Francis Links. I mean, it's a course I knew. I knew nothing about the Eastern Cape, but to actually get here and seeing this golf course, and you know, getting to know this golf course, it is amazing. So yes, St Francis has been my highlight in my career so far.
Okay, now Jeff's asking, apart from St Francis Links, what's your highlight?
Spending time with you, Jeff.
Yeah. Okay, now the last part of this conversation, I want to talk about mentorship, because I know we're going to go towards Jeff here, but I'm not going to answer those questions for you. Have you had mentors in your career, and how important do you think it is to have mentors in your career?
Yeah, I've had mentors. I can probably start. You know, if you don't look at my career, but getting into golf, again, I will 100% have to go with my dad. You know, he's the one that got me into golf. He's the one that learned me so many life lessons on that golf course. I was a little redhead guy playing golf with a huge temperament. And as a youngster, you know, you don't know the difference of, or you don't actually know what you're doing on the golf course. So you hit a ball, it's not going where you want to. And at one stage, I threw a golf club. And my dad gave me one look without saying one word. And he said enough. And so from that perspective, definitely, you know, my dad's learned me a lot there. And what golf can actually give you, you know, it learns you so much. And then, yes, as I said, I started working under Anthony else, learned a lot from him. Mark A golf data. I mean, it was like I say, 10 years of golf data, and it was an absolute family. I love the way Mark A managed his company, and I think a lot of how he managed, I also hopefully took with me.
Where is he now?
Mark, as far as I know, Mark is in Somerset West still, doing a lot of surfing, just loving life. Yeah.
Okay. Is it? And he's not still with Golf Data though, is he?
No, I think he's given over the reins to Graham Armstrong, Mike Westman, and those guys are basically yeah.
I haven't heard his name recently. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not done.
No. I'm not stopping you. I'm not stopping you.
I definitely cannot. You know, if I think someone, it doesn't matter of age. If it's a mentor, Craig Aldane. Craig, boy, I'd say that guy is, and as I said earlier, just learning you how I can ask questions, and hopefully do exactly the same if someone asks me a question. Is actually taking the time and spending the time with that one person, and yeah, going from there. And then last but not least, or partly,
Tina's Keller.
yeah, look, TK is a legend on his own, but I think we both see Jeff as our mentor, and there's still so much to learn here from Jeff. From Jeff, me myself, obviously, not so much from a turf cross perspective alone, but as managing a whole estate. There is where Jeff comes in. He brings the turf course along with managing golfing estates and all that, all into one. And him and Liesel, I mean, they've played a huge role in, me growing in this industry as well. So, yes, there's the people I can mention. If I miss someone, geez, I'm going to feel so bad. I just didn't mention my mom because we're talking about the industry.
Yeah, talk about your mom. Go for it.
No, not right now. I love you.
Okay. Yeah, I was listening to Jeff's podcast because I turned this into a podcast. I was listening to Jeff's yesterday, and I'm going to ask you on the spot something in a second. But some of the lessons that he said in our chat for an hour was so inspiring, and I'm going to ask you for an example of the Pesos, his acronym Pesos. And I want to ask you give us an example of that in practical sense.
Plan something. It goes from any task on the golf course. If you plan something, make sure the plan is set out correctly. Then explain that to your assistants. Go make sure that they know exactly what's going on. Go out there and inspect what you expect. That goes along with it. So make sure that what you give for your assistant to go out, make sure that it's done exactly the way you wanted it by actually going out there and seeing exactly how it's done. Supervise. It's about supervising. If I'm not there, I definitely want someone to be there and not let someone just go on with the task and you have to go and redo it again. So it's all about supervision. It is inspecting what you expect, and at the end of the day, just getting a great result from any task you do.
I think it's great. That's something that I don't know if anyone's honest with themselves. They probably overlook that half the time, or 80% of the time, unless you're focusing on it. So that's a great lesson. Okay, last up, Charl. What advice would you give to young guys entering the industry now? So our young guys.
Okay, I don't want to. If my answer will be not just for any guys entering the industry, it is any young guy moving into any job. Is make sure that whatever you do, you enjoy it. Don't go after something for the money. Make sure whatever you do is for the love of it, because that old saying that goes, if you do something you love, you will never work a day in your life, and it is so true. If this is not for you, don't do it. It's just going to be frustrating for you, and like I say, it's not just aimed for this industry, but for everyone out there looking at anything they do.
Absolutely. Okay, and anything that's spot on, but anything more specific to greenkeeping?
Yeah, I would say, as we said earlier, stick your hand up. If there's anyone that doesn't want to do a job, be the one to go out. And if your first job is not the one that you were hoping for, take it, because it is one step moving forward. And eventually, you will get to where you want to be. I'm now where I want to be, and I love this place, and I thank God for where I am these days. Where I'm now, it is magnificent. It is amazing, and like I say, you begin at the very bottom, and never look back. Just keep moving forward.
Yeah, there's for me a lesson there is that if you do love what you do, be patient and work hard and try and learn everything you can. You can't. A lot of the young guys these days want everything now. When I was talking to Alejandro Reyes on last Thursday, who did the Ryder Cup last year, who's doing the next Ryder Cup, he started his greenkeeping life when he was 13 at school. So he was relatively young when the perception was that he was very young when he took over, but actually he'd been in his industry for 18 years before he got his first big job. So some of the young guys now want it right away, but more and more the top guys I speak to, it's they've been in the industry for how long have you been in the industry for? 20 years.
22 years now, yeah.
22 years, exactly.
Yeah.
So you've obviously done your time and learned your lessons and had great mentors and everything like that. So thanks for joining us today, Charl.
I can just one last thing before we cut off here, to the young guys again. I think if you want to do something different every single day, then this is your industry, because not one day is alike. And that's a fact. There's truly not one day goes by without doing something different. It doesn't matter how small, there's always something new to learn.
Yeah, and therefore you never get bored. Because some guys also think that you need to be managing a 54-hole complex or be in a management team that goes on to 7 golf courses or whatever. But having one, we had James Bledjon, who's very well respected in the UK. Do you know James? Have you met James, Charl?
No, I don't.
Okay, he's the course superintendent at Royal Cinque-Ports, which is in one of the top links courses. But I asked him the question of what does he ever get bored, and his answer was, if you get bored, then you're in the wrong job, because there's so many different things you can do every single day of your life.
Yeah.
So it's a similar answer. All right, Charl, thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for joining us. Have you got any contact details, any Twitter, any social media stuff that you there's another one of your buddies just joined us there, Maya Dutoy. He's just joined us there, a bit late Maya, but thanks for popping in. Marinus Kukamu, you know Marinus, right?
Marinus is the one I spoke about earlier that worked at Kazula as a workshop manager, moved on to Dubai, and if I get it right, I think Marinus is now superintendent of his own golf course, and just that guy, what an inspiration as well. I mean, knowledgeable, and just fortunate to know someone like him as well. Great.
Yeah, I saw Marinus just before the coronavirus was kicking in Dubai in end of Feb. He's the machinery head of machinery for Dubai Golf, so he's not looking after his own golf course. He's just overseeing the whole. But unless he's moved in the last 3 weeks.
No,
I don't think that's.
I might have it wrong, but I think Marinus also did his turf grass management course, and just shows you don't just have to be in the workshop to know more about what's going on out in the golf course. So he's a true inspiration. I mean, just keep going.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get him on one day. All right, Charl. So going back to your Twitter handles and your social media, if anyone wants to get hold of you, where do they find you?
I can first of all, I can just give you my email address to start off with. It's c.blaauw, and it's BLAAUW. And at stfrancislinks.com. On Instagram, it is 1975. There's my age. And then just on Facebook, it's just Charl Blaauw. I mean, ask questions. That's basically a social media I use. So yeah, anytime, anyway. And
it's becoming more and more important that the guys use social media a lot, promote your own brand. You agree with that, Charl, right?
Absolutely. 100%. Sorry, I'm also reading here at the bottom. I see Derek Daly also just joined now, and
he joined. Work. Yeah, he did it. He's been on for. I saw him pop up earlier, but he's been there a while. But I think he's watched the whole thing.
Yeah, sorry. So that's why I was a bit thrown off by the questions, just seeing that he joined now. What was that last question again?
I think I don't know. I was asking about social media, how important it is to.
Yeah, it is just very, very important contact with everyone. The world has become very small, so use it.
Yeah. Okay, we seem to be losing each other at the end. Okay, Tinas is asking beer or brandy. He told me to ask you. I've forgotten to ask you that. Beer or brandy?
Beer on my own, brand new with Tinas.
Okay. All right, Charl. Thanks a lot for your time. I'll be in touch.
Thanks, Andrew. Thanks
We're
for this.
breaking up a bit here.
Yep.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Chat soon.
Cheers.
Bye
Bye.
bye.